Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here. First off, just like to say welcome to everybody and thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. My name is Tom Rogers. I'm the Marketing Manager of Inteltech Solutions, and I will be facilitating today's meeting. I also have with me on the line Dana Anderson, who heads up our CRM, Microsoft CRM practice. Just a few quick housekeeping items. We have the lines in a listen-only mode, but there are options for asking questions during our presentation. You can use the hand raise feature, which is on the left toolbar of the GoToWebinar portion that you're looking at there. You can use the hand raise function, and we can unmute your line. We will also unmute our lines at the end of the session for a question and answer session. If any questions do come up during the session, you can type it into the question box, and we'll be answering those at the end. And if you do have any problems or issues during the presentation, you can type your question into the chat box, and we will do our best to help you out. Today we will be presenting on ways to direct internet leads quickly to your sales staff using Microsoft CRM. Okay, so take a quick look at our agenda today. We will be taking a look at trends businesses are seeing with internet leads. We're also going to take a look at how businesses should respond to this trend. And then we're going to get right into the heart of our presentation and show how Microsoft CRM can assist you in those efforts. Okay, so first off, trends in the internet right now for business. There are about 3 billion searches conducted per day right now, and that number has steadily doubled every 2 years. So simply put, people are searching. And while the majority of searches may not be business related, many are. And if you look at those trends, what you'll find is about 78% of all products or services that have been purchased were researched online beforehand. And when you factor in that a lot of those 22% that were perhaps not researched were cereal or milk or something like that, you can really see that in a business sense, the majority of products or services that are purchased are researched online beforehand. Nearly all people that are conducting searches look at more than one site during their product search, and about half of those at some point will fill out a contact form on somebody's website. Now, hopefully, that's going to be your website. And when they do contact you, you're going to get one chance to make a first impression. So think about this for a moment. Think about some of the things that you like to say about your company. For instance, at Inteltech Solutions, we like to think of ourselves as a responsive company with a strong focus on our clients, with a knowledgeable staff, and a strong organization, well-staffed, a lot of knowledgeable people on hand. So when a prospective client contacts us, we want to make sure that we're giving that impression, a responsive, knowledgeable company. Now, I imagine many of you on the call would describe your company in a similar fashion. So if a lead is hitting your website, you need to make sure that you have systems in place to follow up with them promptly and efficiently, and with the knowledge in hand of what they're interested in. In today's business market, it's not enough anymore to simply have a system in place where leads come in and are eventually followed up on. I like to think of it in much the same way that a business would never have a sales telephone line that goes unanswered. There's really no reason to have a web contact form or a lead generation form in which those leads come in and are not very promptly and efficiently followed up on. So what sort of difference can it make to follow up quickly on a lead versus not? Well, as you can see right here, the Harvard Business Review a couple years back did a study of over 2,200 U.S. firms. And what they found were the companies that attempted to contact a potential customer within an hour of receiving that initial query, that they were 7 times as likely to have a meaningful conversation with key decision makers versus firms that even waited into that second hour. So think about that for a moment. Within the first hour, you are 7 times more likely to have a meaningful conversation with somebody who hit your website versus waiting for just over an hour. Despite that fact, only 37% of companies do respond within the first hour. So what that means is two things. Number one, that if you are following up quickly and efficiently with all the information from that initial query, number one, you're much more likely to close business. But number two, you're going to give yourself a competitive advantage over other companies that are not following up so quickly. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to take a quick look at how Microsoft CRM can help you in those efforts to get those leads quickly into the hands of your sales staff. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how leads come in to Intelitech Solutions from our website and how we use Microsoft CRM to route those to the appropriate staff. Bear with me one moment here. It's not. Okay, now you should be seeing, I took the Julia Child method, if you will. I already baked one cake beforehand and I have it ready for presentation. I went into our website about an hour ago, filled out our contact form, and as you can see, the information then flowed right into my inbox. So here we have a lead from Jason Walker of Walker Business Systems. And if you'll bear with me one moment, I'll scan down here a little bit. As you can see, he gave us his contact information, his email address, says he's currently using QuickBooks. He'd love to have an ERP solution that is cloud-based and has an integrated CRM component in there. So that's a pretty good lead for us, and that's something we want to follow up with quickly. So the moment this comes into my inbox, a simple thing I can do within Microsoft CRM, so I'm going to go ahead and track this. Okay, now once I've tracked it in Microsoft CRM, I've got three options of what I can do. I can convert it to a case, an opportunity, or a lead. Now again, this is a lead, obviously, so that's what we're going to do with it. And just go ahead with one button right there. And you can see here, I can now immediately convert this email to a lead. It doesn't like Gmail, I guess, so it took Jason's name as only his last name. So I'll just correct that real quick. I'll put in Walker Business Systems. And now as you can see here, it's going to let me open the new lead and close the form. Bear with me one moment here. And you can see it has gone and created that lead in Microsoft CRM. So now I have a lead, Walker Business Systems. I have the contact in there. I'm just going to go ahead, say that he contacted us through our website. And I have that various information here. Now, I click the products he's interested in. And I can assign this to anybody in our organization for the purposes of showing how this works. I'm going to leave it assigned to myself. And I'm going to save and close that. And it's asking me if this is a duplicate of any of those. It is not. And now you can see I have in my inbox that a new lead. Now obviously I saw that since I assigned it to myself, but if I was somebody else in the organization, I would have an email that popped into my inbox just a few minutes after that initial lead form was filled out on our site. So I can open that up. And I know that if I go into CRM, I can pull up the lead. And there's all the information. you can see right there, everything that came from the web form is right there in the lead, including my typo that he's the president of the company. We're currently using QuickBooks. So if you think about the power of that, that email would have come into my inbox right away after the lead form was filled out. And in just about 2 minutes or so, I created a lead and it was routed to the appropriate sales staff. This guy could still be in our website right now, and I could give him a call and talk about our products and services. Again, back to that notion of being 7 times more likely to close business if you can follow up with them within the first hour. Imagine the power of being able to contact them back, a remote salesperson, while they're still on your website. Go ahead and close this out. Back to our presentation there. So that's just one of the ways that you can use Microsoft CRM to route leads to the appropriate sales staff. But there are, of course, many different options of how you can go about doing this. Basically, I'd group those into 3 different sources. There's number 1, there's out-of-the-box solutions similar to what we just saw that involve using the workflow and the automated processes of Microsoft CRM to route leads. Now, the benefit to doing it this way is that by using what you already have, you can keep your costs down. However, it may not be able to meet all of your needs, of course, depending on the way you do business. The second set of options, there's a lot of third-party softwares that have been written for Microsoft CRM that allow you to place code on your web forms and have the leads from your site automatically populate into Microsoft CRM. This has much greater functionality to it, but of course the costs are going to rise if you're purchasing third-party software, and then you are at the mercy of that third-party solution. For instance, a future upgrade might change the way that that web form works or potentially mean that the web form does not work. So there are risks involved with going the third-party route. The third option, of course, would be to have custom code written for Microsoft CRM. Now, this is going to allow you the greatest flexibility to meet whatever your needs are going to be, and as long as the code is written with the Solution Developer Kit for Microsoft CRM, it will work with any future upgrades. The downside here, of course, is the cost. This is going to be the most expensive solution for you. So what that all leads in is whatever route you go, out of the box, third party, or custom code, the main thing you need to keep in mind is that you need the right partner to assist you through this process, and that's where IntelliTech Solutions can come in. If you choose an out of the box route, similar to what we just showed you, you need a partner that is going to really understand your needs, because you're going to have to set up workflows, you're going to have to set up processes, you're going to need to decide who information should be routed to. Kind of jumping back to that telephone analogy that nobody would ever have a sales telephone line that doesn't go answered. Well, if you set up Microsoft CRM to put all your leads into a sales queue that's not going to be checked very often, or you're routing them to somebody who checks their email once a day, you're probably worse off than if you did nothing at all. So you really need somebody who's going to understand your business processes and help you walk through what's going to be the best way to configure Microsoft CRM. Similarly, with third-party solutions, you need a partner that understands your business and can help you evaluate the right solution and perhaps more importantly, help you evaluate where some of the pitfalls are going to be. For instance, it's great if you can have code added to your website to work with these forms, but is this something where code is going to have to be regularly updated? Do you have the knowledge in-house to do that? Are you going to be looking at a couple $100 of billable work for your web developer every time a simple change needs to be made? So you need a partner that can help you evaluate the right third-party solution. And then lastly, with customizations, of course, again, you need a partner that's going to help you manage the process, make sure the customizations are written in the right manner so that the code will work with any kind of future upgrade. And really, you need an outside perspective to help you understand, is customization the right way to go? Again, back to this notion, it's going to give you the greatest functionality, but it is going to give you the greatest cost as well. And it really should be the last option of resort. So you need an independent look to take a look at this and make sure that all the other routes, out-of-the-box functionality and third-party solutions have been exhausted before you go down the road of writing custom code for Microsoft CRM. Okay, so with that in mind, that we have 3 calls to action, I guess, if you will, from this presentation. We will be following up with you with a white paper that helps you make sense of some of these XRM type of functionalities beyond the traditional CRM thing. We will be following up and sending that out to you. I think most of you on the line today do already use Microsoft CRM, but for those of you who do not, we'd be happy to set you up with a 30-day free trial so you can evaluate if this makes sense for your organization. And then most importantly, we're offering a free 1-hour review of your leads processes right now to help you decide what might be the best way to use Microsoft CRM intelligently to route leads to your sales staff. Okay, and with that, I will open up the floor to any questions, and I'm going to take the lines off of mute. Okay, we have the lines off of mute now, and hopefully people can ask questions if need be. Okay, well, if there's no questions, I'd like to thank everybody for your time today. If you do have any follow-ups, of course, our phone number and website and email address are handy for you. I'd like to thank everybody for your time. And with that, we will conclude the conversation.